So I wonder if you could change position, yeah, or you can move around. You don't have to necessarily stay where you are, but I think your thing to think about is I'm not going to give anything away. Yeah, because this is weird. So I need to privately process it. Cool.
Jonathan, you're here at the Durwood space.
Yes.
Wonderful space. I've been here before.
Brilliant space.
You're in rehearsals for Foreplay.
Yeah.
How did you come to be involved?
So, Foreplay is written by Jake Brunger.
Mm-hmm.
It was commissioned by the Old Vic New Voices.
I saw that, yeah.
Which is a brilliant scheme for emerging directors, producers, writers, and Jake was a part of that.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't a part of that at that stage, but Jess Campbell, who is the producer of Fly With 3, and her colleague Jack Sane were involved, and they brought it to Fly With 3.
Mm-hmm.
I'm associate director, and it sort of grew and developed, and it's one of the first plays of that intake that's got a.
So it literally is that thing of, you come in here and you go there,
Yeah.
I saw that, I know him, yeah.
Yeah, and it's, it often plays either you work with a writer and you develop an idea and, you sort of then pitch the idea to a theatre or a producer, or if a theatre you build a relationship with a theatre and they go, we've got this idea, would you like to get involved?
You've had a couple of years that are quite impressive.
Thank you.
Like The Guardian was saying that you're one of the directors to watch.
Yeah, that was a bizarre moment.
Is that a moment of pressure?
Well, I didn't really know what was happening. I woke up, my dad's birthday, I was in Derby, so these texts going, have you seen this? I was like, no idea. I don't know, I think Lauren, Laura Bassett, sorry, who'd written the article, had seen a play I'd done and then seen Scotswood Boys at the Young Vic that I'd been part of. I think, but who knows?
Who knows if you'll want to watch? We'll be watching anyway.
Exactly. Well, I'm watching me. I doubt anybody else is, but you never know.
No, we are watching.
So let's do a tiny little bit of impro in of chit chat, and then we'll do the version where you blurt it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Theatre 503
Yeah.
is part of a stratosphere of off West End theatres.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of them. Some
There are.
big, some small. There's the Union around the corner. There's all sorts of it. 120
Wow.
theatres.
In London.
Did you realise there were that many?
Fringe theatres in general.
That are considered off West End.
Wow, I didn't know there was that many.
Yeah.
I could believe it was 120 theatres, but
How do you feel about being part of that? What is good about?
it's brilliant. I think it's because as a director or as an actor or a writer, I think it's difficult when you want to try things out, you want to experiment. I transitioned from being an actor into a director, and that takes time, and that's a process. And I think you can't just go and direct a play at the Olivier, the National. It's impossible. You need to, although in my head I want to, and it's a dream, but you need to have a
growing period,
and a development that means you can make mistakes.
And how did you go from being an actor to, I'm always fascinated by how that transition happens. I was talking to a director only recently, and he admitted that some of his friends took him aside and said, "You're a rubbish actor, you really have to find something else to do." I do hope your friends are not that unkind.
No, they weren't that unkind. I feel like I might be a better actor now, having worked a bit more as a director. But and funnily enough, friends that I was at drama school with go, "Well, you were always a director, clearly." So I think it's always been a part of what I wanted to do. Theatre in general fascinates me. In a previous life or a future life, I'd love to be a lighting designer. You know, I think
that's a hyphenate you could have.
Yeah, design. Yeah, it's you know, those things I think are fantastic, and as a director, you can collaborate with all of the departments.
I was going to say, directors, it's such a tough job to be a good director, I think, and it's a fascinating job because you have such an influence on so many parts of this project, Foreplay, we're talking about today. And then you have to step back and say...
Totally, yeah. As a director, you can't do your job without anybody else. You need everybody else to do your job for you and with you. You know, a writer can write a play. You know, yes, it's got to be put on with actors, but you know, I can't practice directing.
No.
I can't go home and practice. You know, it's about collaboration and
on a
relationships.
And on a good day, say from finishing with Foreplay, what does a good day feel like to you when you leave? What?
The rehearsal room?
Yeah.
Good question. Often a productive day is a day that you know everyone's laughed, everyone's discovered something, everybody has felt that the project is moving forward. That you know you're understanding.
You can be deep in work on a show and it can get stagnant, can't it?
Totally, yeah. I have to watch myself because I love talking. I love people talking because I think it's brilliant. I'm not keen on academia and writing, and you know, I think we learn by doing. So you'll see the walls are covered in bits of coloured post-it notes, but that for me it's sort of like it helps me and the actors to sort of look at the play, examine the play, and move forward.
Okay.
I can get bogged down with chatting,
you
know, about life and about how the play is affecting each person. And so I've got to make sure that I've got my own agenda, my own sort of schedule that I stick to, because sometimes I can go off topic.
Right.
But yeah, good days when we've moved forward, we've progressed, we've discovered something. But like, you know, that doesn't mean it's not difficult.
No,
it can be difficult to, you know, find, you know, crack a scene, get to the core of what, you know,
some things need to be chipped away at, don't they?
Yeah.
Now, this is the first outing for Foreplay?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, since it was at the Old Vic.
Yeah, there was a reading of the Old Vic.
So does that mean the script changes a lot?
Yeah, it's changed quite a bit actually.
It's got a gay theme. Does that overcomplicate these things? Like, you're more sensitive because you think people won't want to hear that character talk like that?
I think so, yeah. I think I feel a responsibility. I know that Jake does as well, the writer, that, you know, you are representing people and you are reflecting people's stories, and, you know, these issues about fidelity, open relationships, monogamy, commitment, how gay men may actually move into a middle-aged part of their life and feel happy and content. Yes, you know, gay marriage is accepted, brilliant. We can adopt children, you know, equality is almost there. But with that, actually, the freedom of that, it begins to shift how gay men approach relationships, I think. So there's a responsibility there to sort of get that story right and say something, always plays, you know, illuminate and say something new about what they're talking about. So that's what we feel like we're really working on, redrafting it from the Old Vic and sort of examining what the core issue or issues of the play is, and sort of...
That's the fun bit, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Also, it's really hard actually going, what is this play about?
Yes.
And what do we want the audience to, you know, take away with them?
And yesterday we've lost that lovely bit of dialogue. Where did that go?
Yeah, no, but yeah, you have to mourn, losses of text. But also, the minute Jake's writing a little new bit to sort of not replace it, but you know, we're sort of getting rid of.
And you get it through on email and say, yes, that's what I want. That's very creative.
I'm keen on lean, lean text.
I didn't like to ask, but apparently during one of the conversations that came up, the actors are all straight.
Apparently,
okay.
I think they are. And that's a coincidence.
I guess the question is it hard to find actors to be in a gay play? Because what you're describing to me is not actually a gay play. It's a play about relationships. It just so happens to be about men, and probably the discussion is good in that forum because we've heard it done so
we
many
had
other ways.
We had a conversation early on actually, which didn't go down very well because of financial implications, that we possibly look at doing it in rep with two companies. Either we do it all gay men and then a different version with a gay couple and a straight couple, to see how actually the dynamics of the play or the themes of the play remain the same.
And what put the kibosh on that?
Paying 8 people rather than 4 people.
Just a minor problem.
Yes. So
minor consideration.
I think there is a version where this could be all women. This could be about women's relationships and adoption, and you know how they move forward with their relationships. But yeah, I think there's a bit of a stigma with actors approaching gay roles. I think it's a shame. And I think it's a bit narrow-minded.
I wonder sometimes if an actor feels game enough to take that on, but then they're not going to do it again because then they might be typecast.
True. I think any actor can be fearful of being typecast.
Yeah.
I think when I was an actor, you want to challenge yourself and do different projects.
Yes.
You know, test yourself in different areas and push your own boundaries. So I understand that actors that may have been in a similar kind of play with similar themes might not want to do it again. But we've got a brilliant cast actually.
Yeah.
All our
Tell us a
first
little bit
choices.
about the boys.
So yeah, they're all quite young, which is great. 2 are quite new graduates, Kai and Kai, Michael James, Michael Gilbert are sort of new graduates. Peter Hannah is a bit more experienced. All went to great drama schools. All sort of brought something fantastic to the audition. Because what I've learnt, or I'm learning and continuing to learn, is that actually you know it when you hear it and feel it in the room. So you can get quite close to the wire in terms of when you are having to knock that down and start to rehearse. But when someone walks in the room and does something that you didn't think was the play or the character, and makes you think differently and with fresh eyes, that's what you dream for.
Yeah.
So I hold my nerve.
Good on you.
Hold my nerve. It was quite close this time.
I'm sure they're very delighted to hear that.
Yes, but they're great. They're really good, and they're good actors.
I read on the website for 503 that said they like new writing and second look. There were new writing and second look producing production house. So that means that they like to cultivate new work. But it also means that in this situation, for instance, it's on its way, and you want to jump in and help it on its way.
Yes, that's not quite right. What they mean by second look productions are productions that have had full runs, say at the Royal Court, 10 years ago, and haven't been revived since.
Right.
And they'll revive it at 503.
And I think that's one of the greatest things about all of these small playhouses and companies, because there are so many good plays out there that don't get picked up.
Yes. I think if Foreplay had been on somewhere else, it wouldn't be on at 503, because the predominant trajectory of the theatre is new writing and nurturing relationships with writers.
Mm-hmm. You can't have missed the furore that's happened with the Oscars. I mean, that's probably the wrong way to describe it. There's been a lot of a lot of press about the fact that there's no black actors being nominated. What's your feeling about that? I mean, how do you solve that? Because I'm sure any thinking person wants to see everyone reflected.
Sure. It's outrageous that, that 2 years in a row.
2 years in a row.
Yeah, I think it isn't good.
No.
And what I find outrageous is that nobody questioned it. Nobody sat down and had the thought process when they're looking at, the spreadsheet of faces, going, this isn't a true representation of the art form. I reject that. I think that can't happen. For me, it's about people's exposure to theatre and exposure to the art form at a young age. I think we're probably not accessing different ethnicities in our society at a young age. I did a play at the Young Vic with a school in Dulwich, and a hugely diverse school, which is fantastic. So we were able to, you know, not even think about diversity because the school was diverse. But that's fantastic. If a school hasn't got that diversity, or if a school that, you know, is diverse and hasn't got drama within their, you know, infrastructure or their syllabus, then we won't be training the artists of the future of black or any ethnic.
They need to be able to see that it's possible, don't they?
Absolutely.
Whoever they are, whether they're black or
so I think it needs to be a seismic shift in how we engage equality from an early age. I don't think we can fix it from the top down. It's about approaching different. It's illuminating places that don't have a voice. Yeah, and 503 does that. You know,
and you can take risks that others can't.
Yeah, totally.
I'm going to let you have a sandwich so that you can get back to your splendid rehearsals before playing. Now, something I ask everyone that I interview, have you ever, this is called stage door Johnny, have you ever been a stage door Johnny? Was there someone that you've waited at a stage door desperately to meet, or someone that you would?
Yes, I saw Starlight Express 10 times.
Did you?
When I was at drama school.
You thought it was good?
I thought it was great.
That's okay.
But I moved on, and
hopefully since then you brought in...
Yeah, I have. I've become a well-rounded...
We mean that in a lovely Starlight Express sort of way.
Yes, and I waited at stage door on the final performance to meet the cast, and then tried to get into the after party when I was 18. Very sad. But I also, with Mac and Mabel, which you talked about, I waited at stage door for Michael Ball.
Michael Ball.
Because he's late.
He's late. He's late all the time.
Yeah, not because I wanted to see him.
Just because you had to see him.
Because I had to see him, yeah.
And it's not here yet.
Great.
Lovely to meet you,
Good to meet you.
All the best and good luck with foreplay.
Thank you very much.